Welcome friends, my name is Aniket Sukhdev Jagdale and I am a student of Shivajirao S. Sundare College of Pharmacy. Today we are going to study about the entire COVID wave which is guided by Mr. Dhananjay Kinikar sir and my fellow mates are Ritik Jaiswal and Pallavi Zumbad. To study the COVID wave, we should first know what is known as an pandemic. So the Kovid-19 pandemic, also known as the coronavirus pandemic, is an ongoing pandemic of coronavirus disease 2019 caused by the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, which is a SARS-CoV-2 virus. This outbreak was first identified in Wuhan, China. The virus is primarily spread between people during close contact, most often via small droplet produced by coughing, sneezing, and talking. The droplet usually fall to the ground or onto the other surface rather than traveling through the air over a long distance, resulting in more than 3.13 million people have been recovered. A global coordinated effort was needed to stop the further spread of the virus. That's why a pandemic is defined as occurring over a wide geographic area and affecting an exceptionally high proportion of the population. The last pandemic reported in the world was H1N1 flu pandemic in 2009. In December 2019, the World Health Organization, which is WHO, declared the outbreak of public health emergency of international concern on 13th January and the pandemic on 11th March. Now here is a brief analysis about the COVID-19 wave. In India, India recorded its first COVID-19 case on 13th January 2020 in Kerala. The infected person was a student who travelled to China for academic purpose, and since then cases in India is rising exponentially. India had recovered over 500 cases till 24th March, so government declared nationwide lockdown from 25th March to 14th April, also declared as a lockdown 1.0. And after this, government has been extending nationwide lockdown step by step. Situation in India till 7th June 2021 was confirmed cases was 25,787 and recovered cases were 1,23,848 and active cases were 1,26,433. As you can see in this graph, India placed itself at the tail end of this comparison. Low number of tests conducted was the reason behind at the lower end in the world. Wide tally of the COVID-19 cases in early days, but as of now we are observing 8-9,000 people being found positive every day. Through the geographic map of the India, we can see India consists of 28 states and 8 union territories with varying features such as demography, geography, location, lifestyle, etc., which can decide the spread of a contagious virus. Comparing COVID-19 situation in state gives us the insight of which state and area is to be focused. We can see that the more number of COVID-19 cluster are in the left part of the India, in the northeast region of India, despite being close to China. There are very less number of confirmed cases. Gujarat is having death rate over 6, followed by West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. Telangana with death rate 5 and 4.2 and 3.5 and 3.4 respectively, where whole country's death rate on 5th June 2020 is 2.78. All the state and union territories with death rate more than 2.78 are to be taken care of more intensively. Recovery rate is calculated by 100 number of recoveries in state divided by number of confirmed cases in state. The number obtained after this calculation is the number of recovered patient behind every 100 confirmed cases in that state. Chandigarh is having recovery rate close to 19, followed by Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, which with recovery rate 84 and 72 and 68 and 65 respectively, whereas whole country's death rate on 5th June 2020 is 47.48. COVID virus spread through the variants. So here are the COVID variants. The first variant was alpha, which also known as lineage B.1.1.7. It is first detected in October 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic in United Kingdom from a sample taken the various month in Kent, lineage B.1.17 labeled alpha variant by WHO. Beta lineage was the second variant with B.1.351 Beta lineage was the second variant. It was found on October 18th. It was found on 18th December 2020. To oppose the ongoing COVID-19 virus, implemented lockdown in 4 phases in comparison with other countries. India declared lockdown in its early days of COVID-19 outbreak. Phase 1 was from 25th March to 14th April. Phase 2 was from 15th April to 3rd May. Phase 3 was from 4th May to 17th May, and Phase 4 was from 18th May to 31st May, among which Phase 1 and Phase 2 of lockdown were very strict, whereas Phase 3 and Phase 4 were comparatively lenient. Lockdown was meant to find a peak of cases in India, but it's failed to do so when we compare India's lockdown phase with other countries' lockdown phases. We see India's losing with great margin. As per experts' analysis, we are still very far from the peak, which is quite scary. Lockdown in India did not serve its purpose and caused economic harm as well as non-decreasing cases in India. In all 4 phases of lockdown, not a single lockdown showed any downfalling of the curve, and yet India has not reached a peak yet. And this is the graphic representation of the lockdown as compared to the other countries. COVID virus spread through the variants. So here are the COVID variants. The first variant was alpha, which also known as lineage B.1.1.7. It is first detected in October 2020 during the Kovid-19 pandemic in United Kingdom from a sample taken the various month in Kent lineage B.1.17 labeled alpha variant by WHO. Beta variant was the second variant with lineage name B.1.351. It was found on 18th December 2020. The 501.V2 variant, also known as the 501.V2 20H 501Y.V2, formerly or lineage B.1.351, was the first detected in South Africa and reported by country's health department. It has been labeled as a beta variant by WHO. Gamma variant was the third variant, so it was known as a P.1. The Gamma variant or lineage P.1 was detected in Tokyo on 6 January 2021 by National Institute of Infectious Disease. It has been labeled as a Gamma variant by WHO. The new variant was first identified in 4 people who arrived in Tokyo having traveled from Brazilian Amazon states on 2nd January 2021. On 12 January 2021, the Brazil-UK CAD Center confirmed 13 local cases of the new Gamma variant in Amazon rainforest. Delta variant is the fourth variant of COVID, and the Delta variant is also known as B.1.617.2. It is globally dominant variant that spread to at least 185 countries. It was first discovered in India, descendant of lineage 1.617, which also includes the Kappa variant under the investigation. Omicron is the latest variant of COVID, which is also known as a lineage 1.1.529. The Omicron variant was declared as a variant of concern by World Health Organization on 26 November 2021. The variant has a large number of mutations, of which some are concerning. The number of cases in Omicron variant is increasing in all areas of South Africa. Some evidence shows that this variant has increased the risk of reinfection. Vaccination in India happened in phases. The first phase, or the launch of the vaccine program, began on 16 January 2021, operating the 3006 vaccination centers on set. Each vaccination center will offer either Covishield or Covaxin, but not both. 1,65,714 people were vaccinated on first day of availability. Difficulties in the uploading beneficiary list at some sites caused delays. In the first 3 days, 6,31,417 people were vaccinated. Of these, 0.18% reported side effects and 9 people of 0.002% were admitted to hospital for observation and treatment. This is the next phase of vaccine rollout, covered all the residents over the age of 60, residents between the age of 45 and 60 with one or more qualifying comorbidities, and any healthcare or frontline worker did not receive a dose during phase 1. Online registration began on 1st March via the Arogya Setu app and Kovid winning over Kovid-19 website, and amid the beginning of the major second wave of infections in the country, vaccine exports were suspended in March 2021. The government ordered 110 million Covishield doses from SII, that is Serum Institute of India. In third phase, the registration for the next phase began on 28th April. A single day record of nearly 13.3 million people registered due to the supply issue. Several states including Delhi, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh announced that they would delay their wilder rollouts of vaccines to later in the month. The initial shipment of 150,000 Sputnik V doses arrived on 1st May and began to administered on 14th May. The estimated 156 million doses is expected between August and December. Initially, doses will be sourced from Russia, but domestic production is expected to begin by August 2021. Here is a graphic representation of vaccinations in India by vaccine brand as of April 2, 2022, in which we can see the Covishield is on the high point and Corbevac was on the low point of its graph. So here is the conclusion, which is India had the 6th largest confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the world. India had not reached a peak yet, so as of now we cannot predict the approximate number of confirmed cases in India. Recovery rate of India is showing exponential behavior, same as the confirmed cases. But if cases increase beyond certain point, then things can go out of control, which will affect the recovery rate.